Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. I don't know. It's kind of one of those days, isn't it? I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of on slow motion today. Even though I've got lots done, I'm kind of like, I don't know what's going on.
I have this HD thingy going on. It makes me look like a fisheye, and you can see my background. That's okay.
Oh, that. Do you want me to change it? I think it's
No, it's good. Oh, there we go. I like that better.
that's better. Okay.
Hi,
Hi.
welcome.
Can see you.
Hello.
Oh,
Welcome to the Dana and Wendy show, where we try and talk about some intelligent things, but yet have a wonderful time sharing time together
what do you mean
because
try?
it's
We
still
we, we freaking
COVID.
talk all kinds of intelligent stuff. We're
We
all
are
kind of
intelligent.
intelligent. We're all kind of educated.
Educated. Yes. So it's been a great, I mean, the 5 day hormone detox, I just keep digging deeper every time I do it. I just absolutely enjoy it so
Yes.
much.
Yeah.
And today will be a great day to go grocery shopping. So nice when you get paid. So it's wonderful. Funny how that works.
Can
Funny
actually
how that works.
eat this week. Nice.
I can eat. Yay. Um, yes. So we were talking about apps yesterday, and I thought, you know what, that's a great idea to talk about that because I had somehow got this Better Me app, and don't ask me, don't ask me how I even got myself into that. So it ended up being like, and I couldn't figure out how to cancel it till I called them and yelled at them. Um,
Okay, good to know.
yeah, call them, don't use it, you get rooked in. But apps are fantastic. They can be your nemesis and they can be the greatest thing ever.
Yeah, I agree.
It's the same as, the phones, fantastic, incredible invention. Like, wow, this is just incredible. But what a nemesis and detrimental to your health.
Oh, it is.
Detrimental even to your family's health, right? Like, because we don't connect anymore. We all connect through here. And this is our phones, and no one has home phones anymore, which is fine. But it's just interesting. And I know I keep like, oh, that's a great app. I'm going to download that. Well, haven't I just filled up my phone with apps? Even though you have 30 gigs on this baby, 30 gigs. And I'm like, oh shit, I kind of need more. But then it's like you would just be more apps and more pictures and more things to the cloud, and it hogs up space.
I don't even know, to be honest with you, how I have business apps. I have like stuff like Clubhouse that I've never used. TikTok I've never used.
Ooh, I got Snapchat. What do you have?
I have no Snapchat because I never use it.
My kids and my nieces, well, the cousins, and I'll call them nieces and nephews, they're all just like, Snapchat, Aunt Dana. I always get the best Aunt Dana eye rolls from Snapchat. And I actually even have the children's messenger, so I can actually chat with my nephews.
Yeah,
Right? And
I have the kids one too someplace. I just haven't used it too much. I talk to my granddaughter every once in a while, and she's like, "Hey, ma mère." I say, "Oh, hi, darling. How are you doing? What's going on? How's your day? Good." And then I get nothing. Good to hear from you. Maybe. I don't know if she has
on Snapchat. You'd have way more fun. Anyways,
but she can just like, roll her eyes at me again.
Roll her eyes. Oh, Aunt Dana. So it's interesting when we're using apps, right? Of course, they're perfect for business applications. They're perfect for so many things, but I have so many, I kind of have them all, if you can see that, have them all into folders. Productivity, business, social, health. And yeah.
I've got like 3 pages plus folders.
Nope. I have 1 page. That's it. 1 page.
You're so organized.
Yeah, I'm trying to be. It's this false reality that I live. So this
trying. That's good.
Trying. Anyways, and so I even have, I don't know if anyone has seen it yet, The Chosen. The Chosen is this incredible TV series about the life of Jesus. So, and it is like, it's phenomenal. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. And you can actually, as an app, it's been shared 105 million times. Anyways, that was my little thing. So there's little apps for that too. But we're going to talk about apps that are actually really great for you, your health, and how this can become a tool to be part of that. So for people who are familiar with brain health and things like that, the HeartMath app is something that you can utilize on your phone with headphones and be able to meditate and breathe correctly and control your blood pressures with HeartMath app as well. So there's so many fantastic things. I love using Elevate. Elevate gives you all those brain games and reading and writing and remembering and those types of things. It is a paid.
Are these paid ones? Yeah.
It's a paid one.
Okay.
I don't know how I got hooked into that, and I don't want to load it again, but I was actually starting to use it again, and it was kind of like, whoa, I am smart. Oh, I know that.
Good for the ego. I feel
it's really good if you're feeling that you have memory issues or you want to start utilizing. That's why Sudoku is so great, and I hate Sudoku, but
I love Sudoku.
I can't do it. I'm not
You're freezing up on me, hon.
there to be utilizing these apps, especially even for seniors, on the iPad and things like that. Now, we were talking about the insight timer yesterday, and that's when I said, oh, yeah, let's talk about that. And that's something that you had given me, and you know more about that. So I think
I've been using the insight timer for a long, long time. It's a free app, and it is basically a meditation app, but it has evolved from just having meditations. Where is mine now? I've lost it. Oh, where did it go? Oh, there it is. It's evolved. Okay, I'll just back up a bit. So I don't know if you can.
Hi, this is the Dana and Wendy show.
Hi.
Oh no, you don't want to back up that far. Okay.
That one right there is
that one right there.
It's bowl.
Like a cup. Yeah.
And it is actually, like you said, evolved from just being meditations to it has guided meditations from all different religions and aspects of that. It has just plain music that goes on, and actually has music. And we talked about this a little bit with regards to, you know, how we have with the Sequex mat, different
the theta, the alpha, the data.
They have music that's in here that has those different wavelengths as well too. So sometimes I listen to that when I'm going to sleep, and it has that whatever one that you need for sleeping.
The delta, your delta is your lowest. You're trying to get that into the deepest sleep. The theta allows you that deeper hypnosis, or that sort of hypnosis meditation sort of brainwave. And then you're looking at the other ones to kind of stimulate brain activity for greater productivity, right? But this is fantastic. There's a portion for parents. There's a portion for courses that you can take. There are live, like there's about 20 people that are live right now doing whatever they're doing. There's music, there's yoga, there's for beginners, there's all sorts of different things that you can learn and join and connect with a community across the world. I'm really excited that I've actually been able to get it downloaded and find it. So it's interesting to do that portion. And I love that that sort of faith component, or that theory, that faith theology sort of component, is something that you can dive deep into as well. And sorry, my back hurts from leaning back on this silly chair, even though it's my mom and dad's wedding chair. Like, they got it for their wedding, so it's 54 years old now. I guess 53, 54 years old, and it's my most favorite. But it's
not for long periods of time, eh?
Yes. So the app that I like using, so there's a couple of apps that I use that are good for my health, or good for my brain health. But the iPhone actually comes with like a health one and a cardio. So I love doing that once in a while, double checking my beats per minute. that sort of blood pressure portion. It keeps my keeps track of my steps without having to have a Fitbit, because those damn things cost a lot of money. But if you have it, use it. If you've
Yeah.
got a Fitbit, use it.
Yeah.
And if not, just, put your phone in your coat pocket and not in your bra. Put it in your coat pocket and walk. And actually even have music, or just be able to hear the birds and be able to breathe and do those types of things. But I love being able to track steps easily without spending a fortune on a iWatch, or as much fun as an iWatch would be. I don't have the money for that. So it's using the Bible app is one that I use consistently as well. So I can set up studies. I can quick search different texts, which I use all the time. A lot of people use it instead of carrying their Bible with them as well. And I think my other favorite one is the Abide app. And again, it's more of a biblical portion, but again, it has sleep, and it addresses and it has meditations and prayers for sleep, for emotions, for anxiety. They can do Bible studies. It has music, so many incredible different programs, and or things that are even movies that are on here as well. So I think people are really coming along with providing what people need in this, because we can't put it down, which is super unfortunate. But so much this weekend, I disconnected from the phone, to be
That's good.
honest. It's dangerous. Sometimes I feel like that's a dangerous thing, because I don't have anyone to connect with, and that's the only place that people can connect with me. But I'll call you back. So it's interesting when we look at, unfortunately, look at the amount of time that we actually spend on the app, recognizing that, seeing where you can fine tune that for your health, because it's not good for our eyes for long term, not good for our neck for long term, our structure, our mental health perhaps as well. And taking the opportunity to shut the app off, or even unload, what is that called? When you remove them, remove your social media apps on the weekends,
Yeah.
so that you don't
And you
have
just
this.
turn off notifications
Turn it
like
off.
that. Yeah.
And so it
Airplane
doesn't
mode.
go ding, ding, ding. And you don't have this draw to connect, because I believe that you need to be connecting with family and friends one-on-one, face-to-face, the best that you can, or spending time with your people in your bubble. And I believe that is going to be the way, perhaps in the future, how things are going to work and how you're going to need to work. You cannot live off of this 24/7. And
Okay.
that's what's so bad right now. So,
Yeah.
and especially around the family table.
Yeah. Oh, definitely around the table for sure. Okay. So what would you say with regards to, because we are only with our bubble these days, that we are asked to stay home, that we are just our own people? Like, I mean, this sometimes can be kind of a mental escape as well too, to be able to get away. So not only can it be a hindrance, but I think a lot of times it's actually been our savior a little bit, to just be able
It
to.
has. And I think that's what's so fantastic about the insight, right? And then honestly, to be perfectly honest, everyone loves Netflix. And I think it's been great, because you've been able to be exposed to some fantastic documentaries, even the Amazon Prime, some really spectacular documentaries, some biographies. You can sit with your family, perhaps not watching the movie that they're watching, because you've watched the Tiger King 100 times already, and you want to watch something a little more intelligent. Well, you can sit in the same room and still do it, and just be part of that, be part of the whole family experience. But it certainly is. And I think moving forward and trying to reach out to those people that you just, you went away every May 24 with, or you went away, this is the time you went to Florida, this is the time that you went away to Mexico, or you really miss dear people. you have to get on Zoom. You have to use group messenger. You have to make date nights with people, because it honestly is such a fantastic time to do that. And we had such a wonderful time for my dad's 75th birthday. Um, and it's just simplicity of it. Everyone always overthinks it, but that connection is so necessary.
Yeah.
So make Zoom dates with your friends, have some drinks, make a happy hour, make a cocktail hour, do whatever you need to do, but you really need to be making these connections, because we're now Ontario's now into what, like another 26 days of shutdown, to whatever that means. Interesting though, when I was talking to some people from the States yesterday, they've skyrocketed sales in air flights across the US.
Well,
Like,
yeah, but more than what is it? More than half of the population has been vaccinated, though, too.
yeah.
They're all states. Well, not a lot, but a lot of states are taking their masks off. Like that's mandated across, and so they're open and running and doing their thing. So,
They're doing their thing. They may not leave the country, but they are business as usual. And so there's that reality of things, and there's still a lot of diseases going on, and we still see the pattern of these things, and not everyone's vaccinated, and we're having difficulty here in Ontario with getting vaccines and getting them out and getting them distributed to the people who need them. But it's interesting.
yeah.
So to maintain in the next month the mental health, the getting outside, the doing those things, take advantage of the Zoom, take advantage of the Facebook Live, or not the lives, but even the groups. You can go live with your friends. You can do all those things, and you can connect with people, because it's so necessary for your mental health. So necessary, so necessary. So
yeah, definitely.
use your apps. Use your WhatsApp, use your different things choose it intelligently so that you can be part of a bigger thing. Right? And I absolutely love that abide. I love the insight. I look forward to utilizing that as well. I know many of my apps I actually use quite often. So it's just incredible. I think the Spotify and how they've been able to use those things, my podcast. I think another fun one and we're talking about not, I'm at a point where the apps offload because I have
I do too. Yeah.
like the fine little dance I'm doing on my phone. I don't know if you guys have ever seen this before. This is called stargazing, and what it is, I have to move it into figure eight. Anyways, what it is an app that helps you identify the star constellations.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so we use it.
Yeah. You had another one before that tracked the airplane.
Yeah, so it just lets you know, it's kind of that it's not perfect, but it maps the stars in the sky, and it lets you know where all the constellations are, where the moon is. What's that there? Lets you know where everything is. So it's one that we use often. We use often when our family's up, and when you're at the cottage, you can see everything. We never know what is that? There's a group of stars there that didn't look like we've seen it before, but I always think that we've never really made the time to look at stars. They've always been there, and perhaps there's some new ones, and they do change because stars die out, and new stars are born. So it's interesting when you see new constellations or groupings. So James has the app that helps identify where and this is something you can do with your kids, is where the space station is.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, and what satellites are above you, what's moving so fast in the sky. You're always like, ooh, is that a UFO? And you're like, no, that's the space station. So you can actually track the space station. And then he has the flight app, which is actually a creepy thing, because it lets you know how many people are on board the airplane. Doesn't know who. I'm sure you could manifest that list if you paid for it. But it's interesting. We play a little game. I don't know if you guys, this is what we do late at night at the fire. And this was something that we started when we lived in Southern Ontario, when we were back at the pond. sitting at the campfire, and down there, that's in that corridor, that Toronto,
Yes.
Chicago, Windsor, New York corridor. So there was constant airplanes. But we would guess. So we do this when we're at camp, or we do that when we're in the hot tub here, is that we guess where the flight's going.
Okay.
And we've become pretty good. Like sometimes we're like drunk and we're like, oh, this is going to Timbuktu to Shanghai. Right? And sure as shit it's from Dubai and it's going to China or something like that, or who knows what. But they're just like, how did you know? But James is getting the best at it because you can tell by the directoring and the height and the changing to where it's going.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so it's you know what, you've got to make the best of the things that are available and making those memories in all situations. And I'm just going to say, you got to get outside, relax in your yard. And this is the perfect night. These nights are actually the perfect nights to do so, to play some music from your Spotify, or get Alexa outside, or Google, and play music. Have a little bonfire. Because I'm so sorry, but there's probably going to be a fire ban, and there's probably the bugs will be sooner than later. And you really have to treasure these moments with family and friends within your 5-person bubble, and not big fires, just gentle chimenea fires, and relaxing and enjoying your life, because it's going to change fast again. Fire bans will happen if people are stupid.
That's hopeful. You're so very like, today.
Well, the idiots, they all get drunk and they throw their cigarettes out and they cause fires. And there's an app for that too. Did you know you can look and see where the fires are in Ontario, so that you can understand where you're allowed to travel and where there's fishing available, because of the extent of fires that happen in Ontario and around the world. There's an app for that. That'll be my thing today. There's an app for that.
So Rolly's actually joined us this morning. I don't know if you can see the message or not, but she says she loves your hair today because it's just like hers. You never know which style you're going to get each day.
No, exactly right. Oh no, I just messed it up too, because I don't know which way my pictures are going here.
I don't know. There you go. That's why mine goes in one of these crazy things.
There we go. Just leave it, Dana. It's backwards and it's messing me up. Yeah, I even wore a necklace today. I put new earrings on. Right? My neighbors didn't recognize me yesterday with my sassy hair. They didn't know who this woman was with this gray curly hair walking down the road. I was like, ooh la la. Ooh la la.
Okay.
Lady.
There was a couple apps that I just wanted to mention too for people that.
Yeah, I'll be quiet now.
No, it's all good, honey. Just before we jump off, though, for people that might be interested, that another app is called Fitness Pal, and those are one of the ones that actually can connect to your Fitbit or something else, but you can actually use it on its own without a Fitbit as well too, to track. If you're tracking calories, I don't recommend that because it's not really the best way to do things. But I mean, just to, trying to keep a good eye about perhaps how much protein you're taking in and different things like that. Or
yeah, I was going to say, does it not have the ability to track our carbs, our healthy carbs, our fats, and our proteins? Because in the bigger picture of things, we know that carbohydrates are and complex carbohydrates are super important to health, to our bowel health, to our hormone health. There's so much, like I can't.
Because you don't have fiber in proteins usually. Animal-based proteins. You don't have fiber in fat, and we need that fiber for our guts. So when you decrease your carb count and carb intake, you are decreasing the ability to poop, basically. And and we need carbs. Our brains are fed off of carbs. I, yeah, carbs are very important.
That's a subject for another day, Wendy, but yes.
You and I are very much on the same page when it comes to healthy eating protocols, and this is where, as nutritionists, I mean, every nutritionist is going to have their own idea about things, whether they have a special title or not. But the thing is, all nutritionists, like I said, depending upon where their frame of mind is and everything else, are going to have different ideas about what is best. There's no one good way that fits everybody. And from our perspective, like even us, we shift with regards to gut health and hormone health, but it still comes down to the fact that carbs, fats, and proteins all have to be taken in their right proportions and used, in a way that really is sustainable for the body and helpful for the body. So you don't want to take in crazy carbs from pizza every night and think that you're doing okay because you're getting a little bit of protein from the cheese and the pepperonis. But you want to be able to, have a nice balanced mix. If you're looking towards losing weight, then you're going to be really, really vigilant about making sure that you take in some lean proteins, some complex carbs, carbs from apples, and low amount of saturated fat, but healthy fats as well too.
Mm-hmm.
So always having a good combination. If you're looking towards gut health, then you really are going to ramp up the fiber, and you're going to increase, making sure that they're low glycemic foods. And all these different things can be found on an app, and you can really monitor them a lot easier on a Fitbit or Fitness Pal app.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even the programs that I have for my clients, all that stuff can be downloaded and given to me in my online world as well too. So this is, really gives me a bigger picture about how you're eating and how things can shift and everything else too. So yeah, we could talk all week about carbs, but
yeah, the Fitness Pal, I don't know, that should be something that I probably download and look into a little bit, because understanding the amount of carbs I'm intaking, to the amount of fats, to the amount of proteins, really help in that realization. It's not something you want to undertake long time, because you do need that rainbow of food. You do need that aspect. But when you're trying to have a breakthrough and having that realization, it's like talking out things to your coach, talking things out to someone. You don't hear yourself, but when you're eating, you don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
And when we're talking ultra processed foods, and the amount of things that are in that, it's interesting to see when it actually breaks down to what actually is, how much salt you're actually taking, or how much ultra processed carbs you actually are taking in, those nonsense things, right? And then where you can tweak it to become better. Like when we were talking yesterday about tweaking our recipes so that they're healthier for our body. And I thought about doing that with the Mennonite cookbook.
Ah, interesting.
We all know the Mennonite cookbook is
I can
lots
just
of
imagine.
sugar, lots of butter, lots of flour, and that's just because it's what there was, right? They probably made flour. They bought their flour in bulk. They would make butter, or just buy they just kept things as simple as possible. But yeah, a lot of white on rice, that's for sure.
But I mean, it just really, I mean, if you take something like broccoli and looking at the nutrient value of broccoli as opposed to a piece of steak, I mean, logically, there is no comparison. You are going to get more vitamin K, more calcium, more dietary fiber, obviously, from broccoli. And like, again, going back to the whole fact that animal protein doesn't have fiber at all. There's no fiber in it. Broccoli is a really good source of vitamin C. Beef is going to be a good source of iron. It's going to be an excellent source of protein, obviously. Beef has a little bit more niacin and B12 because vegetables don't have B12. B12 comes from the ground, and not technically, but I mean, animals that eat from the ground that is dirt and everything else, they get B12 and it forms in their bodies. And then when we eat animal product, we get B12. But when we eat the plants themselves, we take all the dirt off. We take all of we clean it, we strip it of the outside cores and everything else. And so we don't have the B12. So obviously animal products are going to have B12. And beef and broccoli, both very high in potassium. But the thing is, comparatively, I mean, do you want to just rely on beef or animal products just for nutrients? You're not going to get just
I would sure throw some chicken and pork in there, Wendy.
I'm talking to anything animal products. But maybe
no, you're having a rainbow. You have to have a rainbow. You have to have a rainbow of food.
You have to have a variety.
There's no getting around it.
No. And I mean, again, okay, so if this is not the kind of philosophy that you connect with and you believe and you are hard and fast, and because it's worked for you and everything else, then, you know, you go to a different nutritionist. That's perfectly fine. I mean, not everybody is going to be thinking the same way we do. Not everybody is going to have the same philosophies by any means, but science is science. And this is why I think you and I really do lean towards this rainbow of eating, this balanced macronutrient necessity for the body, for longevity. And that's the big thing. There is really quick fix remedies out there. There's really quick fix solutions that do work. Yeah. First of all, you're depriving yourself and putting yourself through hell to do it. Second of all, try doing it for the rest of your life. Can you?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, some people can. I mean, I'm not saying that some people can't, but when you get like a month-long program or even a 3-month-long program or something like that, and it works really well and you got the results you wanted and you've got a lean, hard body, you haven't pooped in 6 weeks, but that's okay, you know, and you got the results you wanted. You feel fabulous. Your inflammation is down. You're great and everything else. What are you going to do when you start eating real food again? What is going to happen when you start incorporating even complex carbs, even the low glycemic fruits and vegetables? What's going to happen? Well, your body's going to go like this because it hasn't had this for a long time. It's going to react. It's going to go right back to where it was before.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, I am, because I mean, it just makes sense. And that's the science. And when you look towards more of a really high animal protein diet, including like dairy and excluding everything green, and you know, the potential of expressing a genetic predisposition for heart disease is going to have that extra advantage right there, because you're adding a lot of incredibly solid, hard animal fats into your arteries. And yeah, and what it does to your kidneys on top of that as well, that's just a whole nother story. But you know, your body can't metabolize it forever safely. There's science out there for people that do, and I mean, and that's perfectly fine as well too. But when we talk about eating the rainbow and incorporating all kinds of foods and vegetables and you know, animal products, I'm not saying not to have animal products. I'm just saying eat them wisely. You know, get the best, leanest version that you can, preferably organic or wild, and you keep the portions smaller. You can still get an incredible amount of protein, animal-based protein, from small amounts of meat as well too. So I'm not preaching specifically for a vegetarian or vegan diet by any means, but definitely incorporating, that balance in there. Some people don't have to eat meat. Some people do. That's, you know, that's the constitution that's different as well too, which is something we should actually research a little bit more, is that blood type. Yeah.
I'm looking right at the book right now.
Oh, are you? You got it.
Yeah, I've got it.
One book I
But I
don't.
need to find my blood type, so maybe I'll order that today. I'm gonna
Yeah.
order the two little. You can order a blood typing kit online. It's like $14. I know that you can do that with live blood, but then you have to come in clinic. But it's interesting to understand, and I don't know where my donation card is. That tells you the last time, unfortunately, that I did donations. Perhaps it should be something we do in the future weeks to come too, is do a plasma, try and get everyone in to do their plasma donation. But the blood typing is cool because, you know, you may be suspicious of why you always react to one thing because of your disposition,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah. I mean, I've always been the type of person that doesn't like to eat much meat. Even as a child growing up, my parents would have steak every once in a while or well, meat pretty much every night. Not necessarily 3 times a day, but and I was just like, you know, I would have small portions of it and I would force it down and yeah, it hasn't been
Yeah.
my thing all my whole life. So it was a very easy transition.
My parents' neighbor swears by the blood typing diet because
Oh,
he's
nice.
had phenomenal results from it.
Oh,
But it's funny. I mean, I don't know what blood type my mom and dad are, and I've asked them a couple times, but they kind of, oh, I don't know, I can't remember. But I wonder if what they're eating is detrimental, and for me as well. Like that's why it's kind of looking at the bigger picture of things. Of course, always a variety of foods, always of those things. But if you're challenged, if your health is challenged with something, then there's a specific way to approach it.
yeah,
Same as if you have an issue, a cancer or disease, a problem, there is a specific approach to kind of overcome, go through, and heal it. When you're looking at in the everyday common, how the heck am I taking care of myself? It is that sort of rainbow balance of things, the best bang for the buck approach that you can get so much goodness in. And I can't tell you, Wendy, honestly, today on my live this morning, I must have talked about the garden tower like 10 times. And I must have talked about sprouting 10 times. So I'm guessing like, you know, that always speaking to yourself kind of portion. So we'll
yeah,
see.
yeah.
But
Whatever. You're channeling again.
I'm telling you, the just listening to myself. But it's interesting uh, if you are having these challenges, and if everything that you have done, if you've done Atkins, if you've done keto, if you've done paleo, if you've done pesca paleo or pito paleo, or who the hell knows what that new one that Mark Hyman has, or the Mediterranean, or you've done, you know, HCG injections, or you've done this or that, stop the vicious cycle, talk to us, and we can help you fine tune these aspects. Like the 5-day hormone detox is not the be all end all. It's not like it's just allowing you to recognize the important food that are that you can introduce to your diet that are important for your hormone production, clearing, manufacturing, and receiving. Right, you're just helping the body be the best that it can be.
Yep. I mean, even if you want to look at it from a perspective of a metabolic syndrome or of some kind, it still has to come down to that root cause, which is inflammation. And where's that inflammation coming from? Going straight from the gut again. And we really have to address these issues before you go into a ketogenic diet because you just think you can't lose weight. Like
Yeah,
it,
yeah. And I think
or
that's where understanding blood type is important. Understanding, even today, I must have said hair mineral analysis test 5 times. Like it's just
yeah.
the tools are there.
Yeah.
The simplicity of things can be there, and it's just sitting down with someone to go over all the concepts. And that's what I love doing. That's what you love doing.
And that's what it has to be. It's not just a one-all here, do this month-long process of, you know, whatever, ketogenic diet, because that's not what's going to fix the person underneath. It's that root cause underneath. I mean, maybe you have underlying allergies or intolerances to gluten, dairy, and then you're adding all this cheese on top of it. Well, you know, your body's still going to go and lose a heck of a lot of weight because you're decreasing carbs. But at the same time, when you start increasing your carbs back in, your body's going to go, okay, well, now let's deal with this cheese situation that you just can't give up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of underlying things. And one program, even though it looks fabulous and tens of thousands of people have gotten incredible results in that period of time, what is the end result? What are you actually doing to the longevity of your body? What are you doing to by eating that way to down,
Well,
like,
I see in thermography, or we see in thermography, that some of these approaches increase inflammation because it's not the right thing. It's been too long. They're okay for short bursts or short periods, or to drop a couple pounds, or kind of those types of things. But when you're looking at thermography and looking at your body through thermography, it's increasing the amount of inflammation because you haven't nipped it in the bud. You haven't addressed the actual root issue of the inflammation. So we'll talk about metabolic resistance next week.
Yes, metabolic resistance.
You've been studying that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll just touch points with that. And I think that's interesting because I also would love to learn more about what you've learned with your metabolic resistance course. And yeah.
Yeah, actually, look at that. We're late today.
Okay, so and that's it. And we'll talk about that next week. We'll leave you on a cliffhanger.
We still got 3 more days of this week. We have a special guest coming Fridays still, don't we?
I think so. Yeah, we have Chantel Young coming in at 9:00. I'm going to confirm with her. She's talking about her new Recipes of Life program with Geo Wellness. She's doing a great little move with her hydration water, her aligned water, and all the great good things with that, and EMF protections and all the great goodness that I wanted to talk about as well. So we'll see what we can ream out of her. Tomorrow, who knows? Our subjects always change. And hope you guys enjoyed it today.
All right. We'll talk soon, guys. If you have any questions, please connect with us. We have tons of information we can give you that is going to be specific just for you.
For you.